With Manchester United in a great run of form, this game again is another vital game towards the top four. Manchester United are very, very close to achieving the goals that they've wanted to achieve. And what do they need to do to get it? They're just going to keep on winning. Can they win against Aston Villa tonight? Let's find out right now. What's up everybody, it's the Aidan Sports Show. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a Manchester United versus Aston Villa match preview, match predictions video. So, of course, Manchester United, hot run of form. Very entertaining game to watch. Aston Villa, a decent defending side with some good attackers. We've got Jack Grealish alert here as well. Paying attention to Jack Grealish is all going to be a lot of action in this game, specifically this game that I think all Manchester United fans are going to be very excited to watch. So before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on, share the video, share the playlist, and let me know in the comments below what your score prediction is going to be and who the goal scorers going to be. We're going to try and switch things up a little bit. Who do you think are going to be the goal scorers for both teams if you like, but mainly for Manchester United, and that would really be appreciated. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the actual video itself. So Manchester United, we've won multiple games. We've dominated a lot of games. We've come back from some games. In the end, through very difficult circumstances after the lockdown period, not playing in front of fans, Manchester United have taken this challenge head on and have done extremely well so far to actually achieve the goals that they've wanted to achieve. They have not lost a game since returning from lockdown. We do have an easier schedule from other teams, but at the end of the day, that's the cards that we've been dealt, and let's see if we can go and achieve the things that we want to achieve. That's what Manchester United should be focusing on. Don't worry about Chelsea, don't worry about Leicester, don't worry about Wolves and Arsenal below us and Sheffield. Worry about ourselves. If we win all our games, it's impossible for the teams below us to catch up, and it's very possible for the teams above us to drop. So that's where Manchester United's head should be at. We need the mentality to go out and win this game. Now, I feel like a few years ago, in a situation like this where all the stakes are up, we probably would have choked this game. And I'm hoping that's not the case here with our new players coming in and the brand new mentality that Manchester United seem to have among their players and among the team itself. So while we say that, let's see if we can predict the match lineup, the starting 11 for Manchester United and its team. And there's going to be a few changes in here, possibly just one, but there could be many more depending on the situation going on during the week. So obviously the goalkeeper has to be David De Gea. I don't think there's anybody that will complain about that. Again, he didn't really have much to do in the game against Brighton, I believe it was Brighton. I'm forgetting things already, but he did score a rather ugly goal. He conceded a rather ugly goal, and in the end, that brought a lot of criticism to David De Gea's way. But nevertheless, we won the game. So David De Gea kind of got scapegoated, he got bailed out of jail really because of the incredible victory that we ended up having. We couldn't stop scoring. All of these things that Manchester United did, David De Gea's mistake was kind of left under the rug. Same with Harry Maguire as well. And those are two players that we need to discuss going into this match predictions. Obviously, the right back is Wan-Bissaka, my player of the season. Unfortunately, Fred was in the competition for player of the season, but he just hasn't been played enough now to say that he is going to be a player of the season candidate. But Wan-Bissaka has, and not only has he been player of the season, he is the most consistent player that Manchester United have had in a very long time, and definitely the most consistent player this season. So stay on the lookout. When that player of the year show comes to light, Wan-Bissaka is going to win player of the year. I'm calling it now. Next up, we've got Eric Bailly as the centre back. Now, many people will say, where's Victor Lindelof? Why is Victor Lindelof not playing? Is there a chance that he can play? Well, to answer the question, Victor Lindelof I believe, has a back problem from the previous game. He got substituted early, and it looks like that Manchester United might have to play it a little bit safe with him and not play him. Is there a possibility that Victor Lindelof can play this game? I believe there is a possibility that Victor Lindelof can play this game, but I don't think they're going to take that possibility just because they need players healthy for games to come. Eric Bailly probably deserves another chance to start, but due to a very inconsistent type of play that he has, this could potentially be a fantastic move or a dangerous move. And either way, it's definitely a risky move. But Eric Bailly is the only centre-back that we truly have that's fit at the moment. So in saying that, we definitely need him to play. So Eric Bailly will probably play this game. Stay on the lookout for that. Hopefully he can come into the team and actually gel, not really do all these fancy things that he loves to do, and just have a good proper centre-backs game. And only time's going to tell, see what we could do with that. Next up is obviously Harry Maguire. Again, the guy has not had a Premier League rest at the moment. He's played every single minute of the Premier League, and only the strongest of the strong would be able to do that. However, people are saying that even there's no point playing him 90 minutes every week if he's going to make mistakes, and he does make mistakes, Harry Maguire. And I think there's a lot of people that say that he probably deserves a little bit more criticism than he gets. But whether he does or not, I just want to focus on this game solely. All the mistakes that happened last week were out of my brain. I couldn't even remember who we versed. So my mentality is go to Aston Villa and to go and dominate. That's what I want to happen. I don't want to dwell on mistakes of the past. We can do that at the end of the season where we can focus on every single player. For now, I think Harry Maguire is probably the most important centre-back that we have that's fit. And he should definitely play if that's the case. Next up, at left back, I've gone with Luke Shaw. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually said that he kind of feels upset that Brandon Williams doesn't get any game time really. But the fact is that he can't put Brandon Williams in because of the form that Luke Shaw's in. And that's incredible to see, to be honest, because it's still saying that Brandon Williams has a place for Manchester United and that he will have a place in the future, but at the end, he has to play his best players, and he's picked Luke Shaw because at the moment, he's the better player. So that means that the competition's still there. The rivalry is still there. Now Brandon Williams has to go and show that he's the better player, that we might end up having a very, very good left-back partnership for multiple years to come. And that's a great sight to see. Competition brings the best out of each other. I think most athletes, if not all athletes, will agree. Having competition in your side is one of the best things you could possibly have because it makes your team all around better. The best player at a certain time will play. And that's the brilliant thing about competition, man. It decides who's the better player and it helps bring better players into the game and to play. And that's all that needs to be said, man. Competition is great. And left back, we definitely have that competition going on. Going into the midfield. Now, the formation, I believe, is going to be a 4-2-3-1/4-3-3, depending on whatever you want to call what Paul Pogba does, because technically he plays a deeper role, but majority of the time you just don't see it. So going into the CDM position, I've picked Nemanja Matic. I think this is crucial. Obviously, it's not really a hard choice to pick. Nemanja Matic has been very, very good over the past few weeks. Had a little bit of a blunder against Brighton. Was at fault for the penalty as well with the terrible pass, but Eric Bailly also was at fault. So in the end, things just ended up being a little bit... He got a little bit criticised for that, and I think that's fair. You can get criticised for things like this. In the end, Manchester United, especially in a game where we were losing, and then we were drawing, and then we were winning, conceding a goal like that probably wasn't the greatest thing for us. But in the end, no harm came out of it. Obviously, there was a goal scored, but we still won the game. So I think Nemanja Matic, again, is one of those people where he probably deserved criticism, but due to the win, the criticism kind of fell away. And Nemanja Matic can focus on the game at hand. I think he's going to have a very strong game tonight because Aston Villa, as good as they are attacking, they will try to park the bus against us. I've seen it with Chelsea. I've seen it with a lot of big teams. Aston Villa would love to park the bus. They have two very good centre-backs in their team, and they're going to have to try. They're going to have to throw everything into defending just to ensure that they can even get a result out of this game. And in the meantime, Nemanja Matic will just have to sit back, play his role, and have a great game. Going into the other technically CDM, I'm just going to call him a CM. Paul Pogba. Mr. Paul Pogba, Mr. Box to Box. Paul Pogba's been in fantastic form, and despite not getting an assist or despite not scoring goals, in the end, he has been phenomenal, and that will take the cake. And consistency is always key. Manchester United, we need consistency, but in the end, we all know that Paul Pogba, in form, is one of the best players in the world. All he needs is that consistency, and it looks like he's finding it. Now, of course, this could just be another hot run of form like we saw last season, but this season, it just feels a little bit different. It feels like we're finding the real Paul Pogba. We don't need a Paul Pogba that can shoot from 50 yards. We need Paul Pogba, the creator. We need Paul Pogba, the innovator. And him with Bruno Fernandes, it definitely gives him the ability to be free on the field, and it gives Bruno the ability to be free as well. Speaking of the attacking midfielder, Bruno Fernandes, put it in. It's 100% gonna happen. Bruno Fernandes is gonna be the cam for this game. People say we need Jack Grealish, and as much as I love Jack Grealish, and we definitely need Jack Grealish, we definitely have a better player, in my opinion, in Bruno Fernandes. And at the moment, we could talk about Jack Grealish all we want, but until he's a Manchester United player, it's okay to compare the two. And in my opinion, as much of an impact as Jack Grealish makes for Aston Villa, Bruno Fernandes has made such a massive impact for Manchester United, like a gigantic impact for Manchester United. It's only fair that you say that at the moment Bruno Fernandes is a better attacking midfielder, despite what Jack Grealish has done in the Premier League this season. And it's good to see that we're linked to players like this, even though there's people we could say Bruno's better. If Jack Grealish ever came to Manchester United this season, next season, whenever he comes, if he did come, competition, man. It's competition. It's great competition. It's squad depth as well. It's fantastic. And I'm loving that we're still linked to attacking midfielders despite getting Bruno Fernandes, because they know that we need more, and we need more that can impact the game in a good way. And I feel like we don't have enough of those at Manchester United. We don't have enough squad depth in all positions. I mean, that's what we need. That's truly the next step to getting a title, getting into title contention. If we can get squad depth, then in the end, Manchester United will benefit greatly. Going into the wingers and the striker, obviously, this probably should remain unchanged, right? So I'm going to go through these rather quickly. Right wing Mason Greenwood, absolutely phenomenal the last two games. Man of the match for both. 9 out of 10 ratings from me from both. It's truly sensational what he's been doing in the Manchester United shirt since the lockdown period, or since the Premier League has returned, I should say. Can't keep saying lockdown period. Apparently England is still in a lockdown. I don't really know. I'm not from England. So by saying that, Manchester United have absolutely benefited massively, and we probably got a win last week that we wouldn't have got if Mason Greenwood was not on the pitch, and that's beautiful. Mason Greenwood has been phenomenal. It just shows that he has the potential to be an amazing Manchester United player going forward. The hype is real, the performances are real, and I think a lot of Premier League teams need to watch out. If this guy can stay healthy, if this guy can be motivated, if this guy lives up to his potential, then the Premier League is not safe for the future. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to compare him to anybody. I'm not going to say he's better than this guy, than this guy, than this guy. All I need to say is watch out, because if this guy feels his potential, he's going to be very lethal. That's all I'm going to say. No comparisons to anybody. Arsenal fans, don't come at me saying Martinelli's better. Any other fan, don't come at me saying I said Greenwood's better than this guy and this guy. I'm just saying, I hope he lives up to his potential, and I hope that in the end, he will be very lethal for Manchester United. Take with that what you will. Left wing, I've gone for Marcus Rashford, another player that actually played very well last week. And I know people are on his back saying he's not performing well. He's just come off of an injury, but I think Marcus Rashford is probably the best that we've seen him in a very long time for Manchester United. And that's probably the best thing about his performance last week, is that he's going to get it back. And that's the best. That's beautiful. And in the end, Manchester United will benefit from that once again. Again, we need our attackers to play well. Marcus Rashford has probably been the one that's the most forgotten out of our attacking force so far. Obviously, Martial has become a little bit non-existent, but Marcus Rashford was the guy that was out of form. And last week, he tended to get that form back, and we need to see more of it, man. We need to see more of Marcus Rashford performing at that level, and I think Manchester United will be just fine. And obviously, the striker has to be Anthony Martial. Gala hasn't played in a while, like a proper game, but it's just not his game to play. It's just not his game to play. It has to be Anthony Martial. I think Martial will score this game, so be on the lookout for that. I don't think Aston Villa can actually keep Martial quiet compared to other teams, because other teams man-marked him pretty much out of the game, which led to Rashford and Greenwood scoring, which led to Bruno scoring, and that's all because Martial put so much pressure on their back line that they had to focus on him and allow other players to go forward. That's the best thing about this attacking 6 players that we have, from the wingers to Bruno and Pogba and potentially Matic as well, is that we have the ability to make players worried from all of these players coming into our attacking line and playing attacking football, that no one can stop us. Because despite what Martial might be to a defender, there's always going to be a Rashford next to him. There's always going to be a Greenwood next to him. There's always going to be a Bruno behind him and a Pogba behind him. And Matic way down there passing the ball forward to him. So that's the beauty of Manchester United's starting team so far, is that nothing can go wrong with playing this team. We might lose a few games, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we're invincible, but at the moment we cannot put a foot wrong, and the form speaks for itself, and we need to ride that form for as long as it can go. Otherwise, we could potentially drop out of the top 4 race. But at the moment, with this team, I'm sure that Ole might pick this team. Maybe Victor Lindelof plays, and that might be better for some, better for others. Who knows? But that's Manchester United's team that I'm going with, and hopefully they can get out a win. And as much as I talk about Aston Villa, obviously in a relegation zone, Jack Grealish wanting to leave, Manchester United linked to Jack Grealish, we cannot take Aston Villa lightly, because last time we versed them, I'm pretty sure Jack Grealish scored against us, and they created a few problems for us. And Aston Villa are a team that are fighting for their lives, so we cannot take this game lightly. We cannot just say bottom filter, that's it, we're going to lose, we're going to beat them easy. I'm going to pick a scoreline that will probably reflect what I just said, but again, if we take this game lightly, they will get a result on us. We should not ever let that happen. We need to take this game as serious as any other big team game that we've ever versed. This is a big game for us. This is like a rivalry game. This is like a derby. And not in the way that we're versing a Man City or we're versing a Liverpool, but this means more than probably what those games mean, just because we're so close to getting the goal that we've always wanted to get this season, and that is top 4. That's guaranteed Champions League football. That could potentially mean a Jadon Sancho coming in. So this means a lot to Manchester United, and we need to do everything in our power that we can to ensure that we get to where we want to be. So I'm going to pick a Manchester United 3-1 victory. I think Aston Villa will score. I think Aston Villa, against big teams, even though they haven't won in a lot of big team competitions, they definitely haven't beaten Manchester United in a very long time. We do have a fantastic record away to Aston Villa over the recent years. Obviously, them floating in and out of the Premier League is a big indicator of what level they are at. Manchester United should comfortably win this game. And I think 3-1 is a perfect result. I do think Aston Villa have the ability to score. If Eric Barley, it could be an Eric Barley mistake, or it could just be a fantastic goal. But in the end, Manchester United should have enough firepower to take it away from Aston Villa, and hopefully that's the team that I'm going with. Hopefully we impress Jack Grealish enough that he actually forces the move, and that could make things a lot easier for us. But nevertheless, that isn't a Manchester United match prediction. What do you guys think? What's your score prediction? Who's going to score? Let me know why. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on, share the video, share the playlist. Have a wonderful, safe day. Take care.